Before today, have you ever heard of the term autism? Autism is discrimination against deaf and hard of hearing individuals that impact communication, education, and daily life. Learning more about autism can increase your understanding in deaf culture and deaf people's experiences. I first learned about autism from taking American Sign Language and deaf history courses that further led me to research this topic. Today I will explain what autism is, how it impacts deaf people, and how it manifests in society today. Let's begin by defining what autism is and how the term was introduced. Autism was introduced first to describe discrimination based on the ability to hear. In the article Understanding Autism from ny.gov, autism is discrimination against deaf-blind, deaf-disabled, and hard of hearing individuals based on the idea that speaking or hearing is superior. Autism negatively impacts education, communication, job opportunities, and access to required services. Tom Humphreys introduced the term autism to describe discrimination encountered by deaf people. In the article Deaf Studies in Education by Driskin-Boyman, it argues that the concept of autism has progressed beyond Humphrey's original idea to encompass individual, institutional, and structural discrimination. They also explain that a better understanding of autism provides a wider view of how the concept is studied in deaf studies. Having defined what autism is and its origins, we will now examine its impact on the experiences of deaf people. Autism impacts education, communication, and healthcare, also everyday aspects of life. Autism may appear in schooling, where hearing-centered practices limit equal access to deaf students' communication. Many schools, like public schools, do not offer interpreters in the classroom. In the article Exploring the Metaphysics of Oppression, Driskin-Boyman explains that autism happens at individual, institutional, and structural levels. This means that autism can happen in places like schools, medical institutions, and other organizations. They also note that hearing practices or policies limit communication, access, and participations for deaf people. Having discussed the impact of autism on daily life, we will now consider how awareness of understanding of autism has developed. Increased awareness of autism has led to a better understanding of deaf culture and identity. Deaf culture and identity is based on shared language, history, traditions, and identity rather than being seen only as a medical condition. In the book Introduction to American Deaf Culture, written by Thomas Holcomb, he explains that deaf culture centers on shared language, traditions, values, and experiences that form a specific cultural identity. As people become more aware of autism, the conversation about autism in deaf studies have continued. Holcomb explains that learning about deaf culture helps people better understand the experiences that many deaf people face. Also, Driskin-Boyman explains that autism is understood at individual, institutional, and structural levels. This helps expand the way people study discrimination against deaf people. In closing, autism is a form of discrimination against deaf and hard of hearing individuals that impact communication, education, and daily life. Today, we explored the origins of autism, its effect on education, healthcare, communication, and daily life, and how a greater awareness has deepened the understanding of deaf culture. So the next time you meet someone who is deaf or hear the term autism, I hope you have a better understanding what the barriers that many deaf people face and the importance of creating a more accessible and inclusive society. The references from today are from an article Exploring the Metaphysics of Oppression by Driskin Boyman, a book called Introduction to American Deaf Culture by Thomas Holcomb, and I also have 3 websites, one from Gallaudet University, one from National Associates of Deaf, and finally the stateofnewyork.gov. I think that's good. Imagine I'm not recording.